On paper, the story should be over. 3I Atlas passed the Sun months ago. It survived the heat. It survived the gravity. It is currently heading outbound, back into the deep freeze of interstellar space. By every law of standard physics, it should be fading. It should be sleeping. It should be boring. But this morning, NASA quietly pushed an update to the server. No press conference, no headlines. Just a new set of numbers in the orbital solution file. And if you run those numbers, the conclusion is unavoidable. The comet is not sleeping. It is waking up. And it is doing something it shouldn't be doing. This update confirms that 3I Atlas has changed again. Not a small fluctuation, not a glitch, but a fundamental shift in how this object is moving through the solar system. It is an alert that says, the prediction failed, so I need you to focus, because I am going to walk you through exactly what just happened. I'm going to show you the 3 separate pieces of evidence, the math, the images, and the light curve, that prove this object is evolving in real time. We are witnessing a reconfiguration event, and it might be the sign that the most dangerous part of this journey isn't behind us. It's happening right now. Let's start with the first clue, the orbit solver. Think of the orbit solver as a prediction machine. Every day, observatories around the world feed it coordinates. Here is the comet at 2 a.m. Here is the comet at 4 a.m. The machine takes these dots, applies the laws of gravity, Sun, Jupiter, Earth, and draws a line. It tells us exactly where the comet should be tomorrow. In a perfect world, the difference between the prediction and the reality is 0. In the real world, we have residuals, tiny errors, little bits of noise. Usually, these residuals are random, a little to the left, a little to the right, scattered like dust. That means the model is working. But today, the residuals weren't random. They aligned. Every single new measurement from the last 24 hours fell to the same side of the prediction line. The dots didn't scatter. They leaned. That implies one thing. The comet isn't where the gravity says it should be. It has drifted. It has pushed itself off track. To make the math work, the team had to manually update the non-gravitational parameters. That is the scientific term for rocket thrust. Comets are not dead rocks. They are engines. They vent gas. And every time gas shoots one way, the nucleus gets pushed the other way. Yesterday, we thought we knew the direction of that push. Today, the solver says, no, it changed. 3I Atlas is now experiencing a stronger sideways acceleration than it was 48 hours ago. It hasn't veered off course toward Earth. Don't worry about that. But physically, it means the engine on the back of this comet just throttled up, and it steered left. Now you might say, maybe it's just a math error. Maybe the telescopes are wrong. That would be a comforting thought. But while the orbit team was fighting with the numbers, the imaging team was looking at the pictures. And the pictures explain the math. They took the latest deep stack, images layered on top of each other to reveal the faintest details, and they blinked them against yesterday's images, back and forth. Yesterday, today, yesterday, today. The difference is subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look at the inner coma. That's the bright, fuzzy ball of gas protecting the nucleus. Yesterday it was an oval, symmetrical. The bright core was sitting perfectly in the center, comfortable. Today, the core has slid. The brightness is no longer centered. It has shifted toward one side. The coma looks lopsided, thick and heavy on the left, thin and weak on the right. It looks like someone grabbed the atmosphere of the comet and tugged it. But that's not all. If you enhance the contrast, really dig into the noise, you see something else. A ghost streamer. A faint new thread of material peeling off into space at a weird angle. Yesterday, it wasn't there. Today, it is. This confirms what the orbit solver suspected. The sideways push isn't magic. It's a new jet. A massive release of material is happening on one specific side of the nucleus. It's distorting the shape of the coma. And the recoil from that jet is what is physically shoving the comet off its predicted path. So we have the push, we have the jet, but there is a third piece of evidence that ties it all together, the light curve. Remember, this object is spinning. As it rotates, the active vents turn toward us, flash, and away from us, fade. For days, the pattern was simple. One big peak, one small peak, flash, dim, flash, dim. That tells us there was one dominant active region, one main exhaust pipe doing most of the work. Today, the light curve broke. When they plotted the new brightness data, the pattern shifted. The main peak moved, and the small peak, it grew. It shot up in intensity. Now, instead of big peak / little peak, we are seeing a double peak. 2 strong flashes per rotation. Equal strength. Do you understand what that means? It means a second engine just came online. A region of the comet that was quiet or weak has suddenly woken up. It is now blasting out just as much material as the main vent. We aren't dealing with one thruster anymore. We are dealing with 2, fighting each other, competing for pressure. Why is this happening now? Why is the comet waking up after it leaves the sun? The answer is slow physics. Think of the nucleus as a thick, frozen fortress. When it passed the sun months ago, the heat struck the outer walls. The crust sizzled. The surface reacted. That was the first wave of activity. But heat takes time to travel. It conducts slowly, inch by inch, through layers of rock and dust. So while the surface is currently cooling down in the vacuum of space, that pulse of heat from the solar encounter has finally reached the deep interior. It has reached the basement. Down there, hidden in the dark, are pockets of volatile ice, carbon monoxide, deep water ice. Pockets that have been sealed for millions of years. The heat just touched them, and boom, sublimation, instant expansion. Pressure builds up under the crust until it finds a weak spot. A crack opens, or an old vent gets blown wide open. That is what we are seeing today. The internal plumbing of the comet is reconfiguring itself. Old vents are dying. New vents are being born. The comet isn't just changing its path. It is changing its anatomy. And this brings us to the danger. When you open a new vent, you change the torque. You change the spin. You change the stress on the body. 3I Atlas is a fragile pile of rubble, trying to hold itself together while its internal pressure systems are being rewritten. NASA's language is careful, updated solution, evolving morphology. But the reality is raw. The comet is fighting. It is reacting to a delayed fuse that was lit months ago. Will this new double-jet configuration stabilize? Will it find a new balance and drift away peacefully? Or will the stress of 2 competing engines be too much for the structure to handle? Yesterday, we thought we knew the answer. Today, the orbit leaned, the image warped, and the light curve doubled. The story isn't over. The comet has just turned the page, and we are all waiting to see what is written on the next one. Keep your eyes open. In Cosmos, we trust.